Happy Halloween! Welcome to episode number 11. The Paranormal Trucker is on. I am PT, pretty tasty to some of you, Paranormal Trucker to the others. Snowman and Large Marge, of course, they join me as always as
I
part of
do.
my
Hey,
everlasting convoy through eternity and whatnot. How are you guys doing this week?
I'm fine. Wore
Yeah,
out again.
Marge, are you okay? You're spacing out a bit.
No, I'm trying to think of what we did this week that I could comment on, and pretty much nothing.
Well, you do live you do live some exciting lives over there.
I know
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Well,
it's
Friday.
terrible being retired. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Don't ever do it.
I wish I could do it.
I wish I could too. I'd be right there. I'd love to
Aw.
experience how awful it
Cheers to the retirees.
is. um, so we got a little bit different format this week. I'm not feeling the greatest in the world. I've got sinus issues and my throat is pretty sore, so I'm probably not going to be talking a whole
You need a
lot.
hot toddy.
I need a hot toddy,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. But last week, PT here really dropped the ball, and I cut the episode off, and we forgot to talk about one of our stories. So I'm going to let Large Marge talk about her segment, which was overlooked last week, and I apologize.
Yeah, that's right. You did. You snubbed me out last week. Now I remember.
I know I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I was watching randomly on cable a show about strange things, and they had this man on there from California, and he was blue.
Like
And they
actually
said
blue?
his skin was blue. He looked like a Smurf
Really?
for real. Yes. Anyway, they said that he had been taking colloidal silver, which is something that they used to prescribe back in the old days for different types of ailments or whatever. But anyway, the silver turned him blue. Well, I got to thinking, has everybody heard of the blue people of Kentucky?
Yes.
Or they're called the Blue Fugates. Fugates. I got to tell a funny story.
Your
I
northern is
moved here.
showing.
I moved here from northern Kentucky. Northern.
Your northern is
That's
showing.
yes. And we pronounce it as fugate. Well, when I got here, I was told I could not say that. It had to be fugates.
You get
Fugates. Fugates.
Just
So
like
anyway, I just had a slip.
just
So
like if you'd
anyway,
say Louisville, you have to say you can't call it Louisville,
no,
Louisville.
I know Louisville.
You say
Louisville's right.
Louisville, Louisville,
Yes. It's like one syllable. Louisville.
Louisville.
But anyway, I remember hearing the story, so I kind of Wikipedia'd it. The blue people of Kentucky, whether they're named the Fugates of Kentucky, and randomly so, they're right from Hyndman, which is Hyden,
hiding.
Hyden, which is not too far up the road from where we're at, maybe 30 miles,
Yeah,
roughly.
roughly.
But anyway, this family, their skin is blue. So I thought, well, maybe they took that colloidal silver. But when I read on it, they have a genetic mutation that is, I guess, dominant in their family genes, and they have blue tinted skin. But it's just that family. But I didn't know if anybody had ever heard of them or not.
So like their skin is blue. I mean, they if you
Yeah,
cut them,
blue.
they still bleed red, right?
Yes, yes,
They just have a blue tint to it.
yes. And it's a distinctive blue tint. It's not like, oh, they look a little blue creamy. No. The one that guy from California looked like a Smurf.
So the guy in California, he was born as a Caucasian
Right, yes.
or
But he
African
took
American or
this
whatever.
silver.
Hmm.
They would sell it in the drugstores and that. It was called colloidal silver. And
I
it
wonder.
was some kind of herb, but it had silver specks in it. and they said that turned his blood blue, or his skin blue.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
I don't know. But now, if you'll kind of go back, the over in India, the Hindu gods or whatever, they were blue. And if you'll watch, if you've watched any of the ancient aliens or whatever, oh gosh, Shiva, I think was the ruler for a long time. He was blue, and he was said to have left, not died. He left the planet, and I'm just wondering, could he have appeared somewhere else, mated, and then just down the gene pool, the blue skin comes back out.
Right. Well, I mean, but you would think, though, I mean, that if it were that, there would be more than just a family.
Well,
in hiding.
maybe not. I mean, if you go, just like you'll have, let's say, all right, let's say a black man and white woman get married,
Okay.
and they have, they have kids or whatever, and and then their kids just marry Caucasians or whatever. It could go down what 6, 7 generations.
It's 7 generations
6, 7
from what I
generations.
read.
All of a sudden, they could just come out with a black baby, 2 black people. And it's not. It's just in the genetics. So I mean, that stuff could probably lay dormant in there for long periods of time until something activates.
Oprah had this couple on her show one time, and they were both clearly African American, clearly. And they had twin girls that were just as blonde headed and blue eyed as a little Caucasian girl. Their skin was a little olive, but there was no way you could tell these children that both. Well, of course, he thought she was messing around on him, so he had DNA tests, and they were his. Well, come to find out, it was like her 5th great grandmother was a slave and bare children by this plantation owner. But that gene carried like 5 or 6 generations, and they said it could up to 7 generations just pop up.
Oh,
Isn't
wow.
that crazy?
That is crazy. I've never heard of that.
Yep. I mean, I'm just trying to, throw out to some kind of little explanation why it could happen. Of course, for all we know, they could be retirees from the Blue Man Group. I don't know.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, that's
They
true.
should have started the Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
The Blue
Yeah.
Man Bluegrass Group.
There
That's
you
what
go.
we need. I'll get a hold of them Fugates and see what they say. I'll be calling them up. Hello, Mr. Fugate.
You still blue?
Are you still blue?
You play banjo?
Yeah, can you play
Well-
any kind of instrument?
Now that brings up a good question. Does the blue wear off eventually?
No.
no, it's
No, it's their skin, just like
So the-
our color don't wear off.
So yeah, I understand. I get what you're saying, but what I mean is, if you were to, well, just like the body has natural filtration for different
well, yeah,
toxins
but
and medicines and things like
if it's
that.
genetic,
No, I'm
Wow.
talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. I'm talking about the California guy.
well, now, yeah, he probably ditched the blue.
This is quit it. This is what they have. It's a blood disorder. It's a genetic trait that led to a blood disorder called methylmoglobinemia. I swear to God, that's how long that word is, which causes the appearance of blue tinted skin.
What's happening right here with this gigantic horse head?
There's a big horse head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Say hi.
yeah, we've got a costume for him for next week.
Yes.
What is it?
Huh?
What is
We're
it?
gonna-
Wait. Let's surprise everyone.
Okay.
Okay, because you're gonna love it.
Yeah, you crack up. It'll be great.
That reminds me, Nick. Of course, today is Halloween. Happy Halloween to everyone. But we are
Yes.
not
Happy
doing our Halloween
Halloween.
special. We will not be doing our Halloween special until next week, because
Yeah, we're slow about getting our videos out on.
yeah, well that and we're in Eastern Kentucky. We're 20 years behind everything.
That's exactly right. We got hell, we do this 20 years from now, we'll still be good.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Excuse me.
Okay, so
I just felt
Not well. You're a trucker. It's all.
what happened? What happened?
Kathy just.
I
burped.
had a gas eruption.
Oh,
She did a burp. She said, "I hope you didn't hear that." And started laughing. I said, "We're truckers. It's okay."
yeah, no, it's totally fine. So I want to remind everyone about the contest. Our original contest was supposed to end tonight. It's not going to end tonight, so it ended the first of the year. Send us in your creepy stories, your ghost stories, your odd abduction stories, your sightings, whatever, and be entered to win our contest. First prize, of course, is that $100 gift card to either Walmart or Amazon, a trucker hat, and a keychains. Which, by the way, the keychains were supposed to arrive Friday, but I wasn't home, of course, because I have a job, FedEx, stupid, and they didn't deliver them because I wasn't home. I guess people who work for a living don't get their shit. That doesn't make any sense to me. Second prize, of course, is just going to be a trucker hat, which I say just a trucker hat, but look how cool these look.
This is
Uh,
the styling.
I think
Yeah.
This
so.
is the thing to have.
Yes.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is
And
going to take Make America Great hats out.
I believe you're right. And of course, you'll get a keychain. Third prize, of course, is just going to be the keychain. But don't forget, Elliot and his spooky family are holding a contest that ends tonight at midnight. So get your stories over to them tonight or by midnight tonight and be entered to win their contest for a copy of Elvira's book. Um, oh my gosh, I just wrote down. I'll get it. It would be nice if I was actually capable of being prepared, wouldn't it? Yes.
Just wing it. You're good.
You guys can talk
Go
about
ahead.
it's okay. Well, okay, you guys are not going to talk. So, um, we have a listener email, just kind of a follow up to last week's listener email because we had some questions, and Firewater was kind enough to write us back. So it says, PT Snowman and Large Marge, to answer some of y'all's questions. My mom's side of the family are Native American. My grandma was some kind of Spanish Indian, and my father was a mix with Cherokee and Blackfoot. Story has it that when my grandmother came over here from Spain, the government put her family on a reservation in Arizona. The government at some point decided to transfer some of her grandfather and his family from the Appalachia to Arizona also, and that's how they met. Long story short, many years later they ended up in Indiana, and my mom met my dad, which he's German. So with that big mixture, my grandfather nicknamed me Firewater. Okay. PT, we were wondering about my connection to the paranormal. I can remember as far back as 4 years old for being my first experience. My sister was 2 years younger than me, and she started her experience at the age of 3. I have always had the ability to see, feel, and hear spirits and entities. My sister always had premonitions. With me being sensitive, I have had some bad experiences, but I can't complain. I can't complain about it because I've had way more good experiences. My sister's gift
We got
my sister's gift was annoying growing up, though. She has since passed. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that, Firewater. It's been 14 years, and I just found out about a couple of months ago that my son told me he started having premonitions 6 months after she passed. I asked him why he didn't say something, and he didn't want anyone to freak out. So, PT and crew, do y'all think or believe this was a transfer of powers from my sister to my son? I would like to know y'all's opinion. Keep on trucking. Your biggest fan, Firewater. Thank you for the follow up email, Firewater. And yes, I mean, it's very possible it could be a transfer of powers, especially if it happened, if you didn't start having premonitions until after your sister passed. I very much believe. Now, I hate to ask another follow up question, but were your sister and your son very close? Because um, that very well could have been a transfer of power.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I love the way he got his nickname.
Yeah, that's very cool, isn't it?
That is cool. That's a cool story.
yeah, and well, you also got to look with the Native American blood that he has in there. They're a little more in tune to
Yeah, the spiritual.
the earth and the spirit world, and that for me, that might just be part of his, part of his gene pool.
Well, I noticed when he was mentioning his tribes, he said Cherokee and Blackfoot. And
Yeah.
see, I always thought Cherokee and Blackfoot. I thought they were two separate. But actually, it's the same. It's the same. There are Cherokee that are Blackfoot. So that's what I am, and that's how I had a native person tell me this. So that might be interesting for him because some people just think there's just Cherokee and that there's Blackfoot, which there are, but then there's Cherokee Blackfoot.
Oh, okay. So I wonder if
Scott Irish. You know what I'm
See,
saying? There's Scots and there's Irish, but then there's Scott Irish.
and
so his grandfather was mixed with Cherokee and Blackfoot, so he was probably a Cherokee Blackfoot.
Yes,
Okay.
I'd say that's exactly it. Yes.
yeah,
You know
and
what's so depressing is that the way this country treats the native indigenous people,
Oh,
and
it's
yeah,
horrible.
the
It's horrible.
reservations.
Still
I
to
mean,
this day.
that's crazy to me. It's but no, as far as the premonitions go, me myself, I have always seen and heard and felt things, but I always akin that to the energies of the world and the universe. I mean, if you think about it, the Big Bang occurred. We're all physically from the same point in time and space.
yeah,
Everything, us, Mars, any galaxy that's been created right now, any life forms that are
Mhm.
out there, we're all made of the same material
Yes,
because we all started right there. One little,
from a molecule.
yep.
Big
So,
Bang.
I always kind of likened it to that everything was just in touch, and more open-minded people will they tend to share their experiences.
Attract other open-minded people.
Sure, sure, yeah, and they they tend to they'll share their stories sometimes, and of course there's few and far between, but as social media and if anything good has come out of social media, it's allowing like-minded individuals to finally share themselves. Why is this light keeps getting brighter or something?
Look, it's Sunday night after 6, and I have my old woman coffee. Don't you remember when, like, your grandma and all of them drank coffee after dinner at night? I have my old woman coffee at night. Got a
Well,
little Baileys in it. No,
in your defense, you did just get off the road. You just come back from a
I'm
long
not
ride.
driving. I'm
Yeah,
not driving.
you did
I'm
just get
driving
back.
my recliner. That's what I'm driving.
Yeah, you did just get back from a long haul, so
I
you're
did.
good. You're good.
I
yeah.
deserve a break.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So again, thank you for the follow-up email, Firewater, and we look forward to many more emails from you. Hopefully, we can keep the correspondence going. That's amazing. It's amazing stuff that you're sharing with us. Um, and to any of you new fans that want to, or new people, not I won't say fans. That's so weird to say. Any of you who are listening to us who enjoy the show and want to share your experiences with us, you will remain completely anonymous unless you just want us to tell who you are. And in that case, you can tell us on the email or whatever. But you will remain completely anonymous, and you can just share with us because we love hearing new stories. Do we not?
Oh yes,
Yes, we
yes,
do.
and for everybody that's watching on
And we like to
YouTube,
share new things that we don't know.
for everybody that's watching us on YouTube, you know, like and share the video and
Yeah,
subscribe.
like, share,
And
subscribe, hit that notification bell. It helps more than you know. That helps get our page some attention, some traction, um, and eventually, hopefully,
They're
we can
laughing.
make this a pretty good channel. Hopefully, um,
it's growing pains. We're only
yeah,
11 shows in, so
sure,
it'll get better. You
absolutely.
know, if we can just get some time to do a little research, that would be the big thing.
Yeah,
I'm looking for groupies.
Marge is looking for groupies, and
I'm looking for groupies.
Snowman and I would just like to have the time to do it.
I want
Um,
groupies.
Yeah, and work for me is as I work in construction, and we've just got so much stuff going on right now.
You're not a truck driver?
Well, I drive a van. I guess that's close enough.
this is a man
And
in a van.
I drive a
man in the van.
recliner,
And
3 positions.
you know, it's just we've got so much stuff going on that I'm on the road, you know, quite a bit.
Road.
And usually when I get home after driving all day, I'm tired. I go down. The Friday night was particularly bad, and I didn't really go nowhere other than the Pikeville line.
He was home for about 2 hours before he went to bed Friday.
in the recliner.
Seriously, we didn't get home till like 8.
Yeah, it was well about 6:30 because I think by
Was it
8:30
that?
I was asleep.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
that's
bad.
true because you were in bed by 8:30.
And usually we always call Friday night or date night. We'll sit here and watch Ancient
Stood me up.
Stood her up. She had to
Stood
watch
me
it by
up bigger than
herself.
hell in my own living room.
Stood her up bigger
Stood
than
me
hell.
up. It was bad.
Yeah.
And I've been working on us a little prop for here, and I just hadn't had time really to finish it up. Yeah, I'd say I could probably finish it in half hour. I just got to get a few minutes to do it.
Sure, I understand. Well,
But,
maybe you can have that ready for us for the Halloween.
Yeah, I can get it and show you the progress here towards the end of the show.
Sure. All right. So in 1989 in Fort Knox, we have a Bigfoot sighting, and unfortunately, an entire Bigfoot family was killed. In 1998, in August of 98, a Bigfoot family may have, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be 89. In August of 89, a Bigfoot family may have been tragically killed in Fort Knox, Kentucky. This event, if true, is very unfortunate. The Kentucky Bigfoot Research Organization, by the way, that's who I saw I've watched this YouTube video. It's an interview with a former soldier that was stationed at Fort Knox who actually was there, witnessed to, and even participated in the killings. Unfortunately, if it's true, and it sounds like it may have been, it sounds like they were threatened, which could have been. It was probably warranted.
Yeah. Well, the video, the interview, he was very believable.
Sure.
I mean, described everything kind of in detail.
Yeah.
And I would like to find out more about it if that was true. It was interesting. It was unfortunate they killed him, but there again.
Well, and it kind of goes that
What were they driving?
they were in
the army or the Bigfoot.
The Bigfoot. It sounded like the whole family was in a van or something. Screeching tires, put off the road.
All right, so the story kind of goes that in 1989, this particular group of soldiers were helping the National Guard and the Kentucky State Police with a roundup of marijuana. I assume if anybody's ever been around the Fort Knox area, they know that this base, I mean, it's thousands, it's a huge base. So people sneak on there and plant crops and whatnot. And they were just trying to, eradicate them, destroy them and whatnot. But so that's how this went to be. So there was a helicopter flying over and they said, hey, we've got some individuals in this location. And this group of guys went over to check it out. And when they popped around the corner and they seen what they saw, it was a entire family of Bigfoots and Big Feets, Bigfootses, whatever they are. And what it was a female that had been caught in a bear trap. A large male, he said, was above 8 feet tall. 2 younger males and a juvenile. The juvenile, as soon as they saw the convoy vehicles, took off and ran. The male supposedly turned, roared, and began charging the group, at which that time they opened fire. The amount of firepower that they dumped into this thing before it finally collapsed and died is insane to me. He describes 3 machine guns emptied their magazines, which was supposed to be 30-round magazines, I think.
Yeah.
Into this, so that's 60 rounds into this creature.
Well, he said he put 30 into the male, and his driver and his server took out the rest of it.
Okay, so the female and the two other juvenile or two other
Yeah.
younger males.
Yes.
Okay, and then once that they were down, the commanding officer had his sidearm and emptied a magazine into the head of both the male and the female um, before they eventually stopped moving. That's insane to me. That's a lot of firepower to drop these
Yeah.
creatures.
That's a shame they had to kill them.
It is.
Okay, we've got an emergency over here. One dog started barking, got the rest of them fired up.
What a breach of security.
Get over and lay down. Come on. Lay down.
Lay down.
You
Sammy's
go-
just, he must have seen a deer. The deer are moving.
Yeah.
So Sammy sees deers out there. And then he barks, and then all the rest of them bark.
They say that when they each round that they popped into these things that they could see blue dust coming off of them, and that when they were finally dead, that the creatures began emitting some sort of, I assume, um, he
Stank.
said like, yeah, he says like a skunk smell.
Yeah.
He said that
Yeah, they
actually
always
had
think it stink.
yeah, so it had like a taste to it. So it was a very metallic taste. So the way he describes the male, and after listening to the entire story, the way he describes the male, it's terrifying. If you ran across one of these things, you would probably not survive if it were provoked enough to attack you. I assume if they rolled up in he called it a 113. That's like a that's
It's
a
a
military.
that was an armored personnel carrier. One of the
Okay,
looked like a box with some tracks on it.
all right. So
That
they so
That's
he
too
probably
hot that
he
you know that.
probably he probably he probably took that as a threat, and so he charged, of course, the machine, and of course they opened fire. Of course, this is the military in the 80s. They don't you come across a creature that I think initially he said he thought they were bear, but he wasn't sure. So that's I mean that's unfortunate. It really is. Um, but I know he did say that it took a toll on him and his driver and other folks that were involved in it. Not just the fact that these creatures are out there, but the fact that they had to kill them. Relatively innocent animals that were just in an unfortunate situation. Um, what strikes me the most, though, is there has to be a level of intelligence there because they were conversing with each other. He says they have their own language, so there is a level of intelligence there.
Well, and if you watch some of the
Well, look at the other ape species,
if you look at some of the Bigfoot
monkeys. And that.
videos and things like that, where they're out actually hunting. I mean, they'll sit there and tell you they hear voices.
Yeah,
Out there while they're certain they'll hear voices, but they can't. They know what they're saying, but they said that sometimes they can hear them like back and forth.
We just watched a video that, as a matter of fact, was close to here, where these people taped or videoed, and they heard the screams coming out of the mountain from right behind their house. I mean,
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
have packed up and left. It was crazy.
yeah.
It was like not like a howl like a wolf or anything, but like a high pitched scream.
And that I've been a firm believer in saying that I don't like going into the woods, and now knowing what I know, I would still won't go into the woods. It's a creepy place.
Only if you think that.
That's true. But I
Creepy
know
place.
over here, just deer hunting. Down here, see, you got bear. We didn't have bear up north.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm scared. I take me a pistol when I go deer hunting because I'm afraid of a bear. And I've seen the tracks up here.
Well, you need to. I mean, you never know what we have mountain lions in the area.
Yes,
Yeah,
and that's something we
them
didn't have up north
bobcats.
either. Yeah,
Yeah, and
we have bobcats.
she's actually seen a bobcat.
Seen a bobcat run across the yard here. Beautiful, Beautiful animal.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate situation, but if any of you guys want to listen to it, go to the Bigfoot, Kentucky Bigfoot Research Organization. Go to their web or go to their YouTube page and check out that interview. It's a very good interview. Unfortunately, the interviewee, he has since passed. He was dying of stage 4 cancer, which is the only reason that he spoke to the interviewer, because he was apparently had to sign a non-disclosure at the time of the event. So go give that a listen. Go check it out, check them out, and tell us what you think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, and they got a comment asking where you heard it on Paranormal Trucker.
Guys, do you have anything else for us? I know it's just
No, we need some emails. We need some emails so we can get have it as a subject matter up here.
Yes.
So send us some emails.
We do need some listener emails, listener topics. Like I say, guys,
Right now,
I'm sorry it's going to be a short
Fire
episode.
Water's
My
getting the
throat
whole
hurts,
the
my
whole
head hurts.
shebang.
So I'm not going to be able to talk.
I
a lot.
know.
I'm getting to the point where I'm almost done talking. I'm just a little a little under the weather right now. Do you guys have anything else for us?
I need groupies.
Well, back on the book that we have been discussing the last couple of shows, I kind of re-listened to it because I've already listened to the 2 more of the books.
Right.
So I wanted to kind of get back on the first one, and so I was, listening to it while I was going to work, and they had actually told a story. This Corey Good had, which was supposed to be part of the Secret Space Force, did his 20 and back, and then after 20 years, he started getting his memories back and came out. Well, since then, he has actually supposedly be the spokesman for the Sphere Being Alliance.
Yes.
And so if they got to deal with the other space programs, he's their voice. And they sent him to Mars to investigate the incorporated industrial complex.
The interplanetary.
Yes, sorry, thank you. Interplanetary. So anyway, him and another gentleman go, and they had agreed to let him come and inspect the bases. Well, when they got there, they said they wanted to inspect a base that was towards the South Pole of Mars.
Yeah.
And they didn't want them there. Didn't want them to inspect it. So the whole story came out was they called it a long-term social experiment, but supposedly everybody who was there thinks the Earth has been destroyed.
Right, I do remember that.
They are living there. They have no knowledge of Earth whatsoever. And he had mistakenly slipped and told one of the guys he was from Texas, one of the security guys. Well, they started kind of talking back and forth, and so the next thing they knew, they were on like an underground train that took them from where they got off on Mars out to this factory complex. And they had stopped and said they waited, and another train come up, more security guards come out, got rid of the security guards they had, and hauled them off and replaced them with 2 more. And so they were supposed to took after their inspection on all the stuff that they supposedly make there and all this and that, and they said they do trade with 900 different species through the galaxy. And so for me, it's like, okay, how are they getting this stuff back for, how are they trading? What are they getting out of it?
Right.
And why isn't it that trickle down this way? So anyway, but they were supposed to they had one family picked out, and they were supposed to take them, and just question them and do whatever with them, and they said then they would return them, or they would take them wherever they wanted to go. And everything was agreed to it. They got the family, and while they were doing their interviews, they said something about one of their children were missing. And they said, "How did you know that?" He said, "Well, we have our ways." So anyway, they kind of clammed up. Well, the commander of that inspection team, he went to the base commander, and the base commander didn't like it and threw him in jail. Threw him, Corey Good, and two of their security people, threw him in jail. And they were threatened to, I guess, pretty much get rid of him.
Yeah.
And the Spirit Being Alliance saved him.
Oh God,
So it was interesting. I don't know if I believe it, but I just thought it was an interesting little story that they added in there with it. But now the book itself, if you've not listened to it, it's a good listen, whether you believe it or not. I mean, they corroborates everything with enough information to where it makes it believable. But I don't know, there again, that's just somebody writing a book.
Right. And of course, the book we're talking about is Insiders Reveal Secret Space Program and Extraterrestrial Alliances by Dr. Michael E. Salla. You can check that out. There's, of course, 6 books, I think.
I think there's 6 total. I've listened to 3 of them.
And I'm starting on the 2nd one this week. So next week, we'll talk more about that. What else you got on that?
Well, just me personally, those books, I find them really interesting because like I said, I drive a lot, so I get to listen to them. And, I've enjoyed them because he puts out a lot of information and backs it up with a lot of stuff that is not just coming from them. But he also says in the book that, he is skeptical whether it really happened or not. He is just telling these guys a story.
Right.
But he did back it up with enough information to make it, it's plausible. So there are, good books.
Definitely.
I've locked all 3 of them so far.
Well, and I do have 2 hard copies coming our way that we're going to
that'd be even better.
Talk some more about as we go through. Guys, don't forget about our contest. Our contest is going to end at the first of the year. Give us your scary stories, your first encounter stories,
I'm going to run.
Any kind of weird stories that you got. Send us your way. Send them our way. Paranormaltrucker@yahoo.com. And also Elliot and his spooky family over on the Spooky Family podcast. Their contest is ending tonight at midnight. So please enter that contest. You can send your let's see what the rules are. Birdie Gertie and I, Beagle Gertie and I will read your scariest true story on the show and determine who has the scariest story. And that person, as long as you are over 18, will win a copy of Elvira's memoir, Yours Cruelly. The contest ends tonight, October 31st at midnight. To enter, please email your story, Elliot@spookyfamilypodcast.com, Gertie@spookyfamilypodcast.com, or Beagle@spookyfamilypodcast.com. Again, you must be 18 to enter. Please include your name, your address, and let us know if we can use your real name on the air. If we can't, let us know something we can call you. And that's something we need to do too. Going forward, if you email us, of course, we're the Paranormal Trucker. We want to know your CB handle. What can we call you on here? And if you always wanted a trucker CB handle, now's the time to put it out there.
And it doesn't matter. They're the same as somebody else. We're not gonna call them a thief or anything else. So
nope, doesn't matter to us.
If there's another snowman out there, have at it.
Yeah. We may call Snowman on the Snow Snowman 1, and you may be Snowman 2.0. So we may go from there like that. But guys, again, I know it's a short episode, and I apologize. I'm just feeling a little under the weather this week, and I'm getting to the limit of my talking. I can feel my voice crackling as we speak. So we're going to call it a night. Hopefully next week we're going to have an even better show for you, because we will have all kinds of guests over there. We'll do some talking. We'll do some probably other things. I would imagine There'll probably be some drinking involved, so it could get pretty bad. Um, but
That
don't
might be a
forget,
two-parter.
yeah, that might be a two-parter. We don't know yet. But don't forget to visit us. Go check us out on Facebook. Go check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor. If you check us out on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It helps more than you know. Go ahead and if you're bored and you want to check some other guys out, check our dear friends over at Seth's Daily Podcast. Seth's got a great show going over there. Elliot, of course, and his spooky family. Check out the guys over here to Chew Bubblegum and Justin Perkins of Talk Junk. That's going to do it for us tonight. Happy Halloween. Everybody be safe, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
I know.